camera again. 1 second. Oh my god. No shot. Hi Phoenix, how's it going? Oh, this light is so fucking bright, dude. It's obnoxious. Okay. Just chat. Hello. Hi. How's it going, Phoenix? How are you today? Thank you for coming in. We're gonna be talking. Wait, why isn't my shit changing? Hold on 1 second. There we go. There we go. Everything's working. Thank God. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about Dungeons & Dragons, first off. But second off, it's going to be world building. Let me pull up my world. I want to talk about Goliaths today because I very much know absolutely nothing about them, to be honest with you. Which means that my ideas for this little community that we're going to make in Varshaavan that is centered around Goliaths is going to be a lot of fun to make. It's going to be really, really good. The Snowmageddon? Just hunkering down for the Snowmageddon. What? Where do you live? That it's snowing hard right now. What is it? It's February? I guess it is still winter time in other areas. I'm from Phoenix, which is Satan's armpit, so it couldn't be me. Montana, I assume? We're expecting 10 to 22 inches of snow, like today or in the next couple of days, because that's crazy. I think that I would proceed to die if I were to go anywhere with like actual snow. Okay, hold the music. Hold. Gotta get my DMCA stuff up. There we go. Minnesota. Tonight? That's just in one night? That's actually crazy. That's too cold. Too cold for me. Too cold, man. Nah, couldn't. I've actually been, so I do want to leave Arizona eventually, but I've been like looking at the bottom half of the US, and I'm like, there are just no places that I want to live that are also like actually not cold. Like maybe I just need to leave forever. It's ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and hop into world building. I'm excited to talk about Goliaths. Historical snowfall. This is like the average snowfall through all of winter. That's crazy. I'm surprised. I feel like it's been, I guess it has been a bit more of a wet year compared to like last year and the year before that. So I guess that makes sense, but that's still a lot of snow for one day. Okay, let's hop right into it. Okay. Karachi. I don't think I know that country, that area, that place. Pakistan. Okay. Warm there. I love the cold, but ice and low visibility snow is not fun. Yeah. We still, even though it's like in winter it can get cold enough to snow. It's super rare, extremely rare. But what is a little bit more common is like in the early mornings, we'll get ice on our windshields, and it's just so unusual to us. I can't imagine the idea of having to shovel snow out of my yard. Terrible. Too much time. I could never. Too much effort. Is that where you live, Angry Meatball? How are you doing, by the way? How's it going? Let me adjust the like organization of my chat is just really weird. Donde? Okay, Control Z, Control Z. There? There? That seems decent. Okay, let me shorten this ever so slightly. Hello, welcome to our new little system. And actually, let me adjust something else real fast. Chats. Streamlabs. You almost got married to a girl that was born there. That's crazy. I went to Nevada like 7 years ago. There was record snowfall and the state was not ready for it. I'm from the UK originally, been in America for years now. Oh, that's interesting. What part of the UK? Just hold while I fix this, sorry. Always show messages, save settings. Okay, is it working? Hold. Delete that. We'll see if that works. Alrighty. Okay. You wanted different things. That's fair. Glasgow. Nice. That's interesting. Why did you make the move? I always find it interesting to know people's reasons for leaving their home countries. Do Goliaths take double damage from slings? Oh, I get it, because it's David and Goliath. I was like, I don't know what that has to do with Goliath, man. But I'm just a little slow, okay? I'm a little slow. That would be funny, actually, if there was like a tale of some kind in Goliath culture where David's the bad guys. Be fun. Okay, is this it? No, that's Giantkin, and this is Goliath. So we're looking at Zalilos, which I'm very excited about because Goliaths are very much just like, to me, like anytime I hear about Goliaths, I feel like I hear about them in the context of like, you always have to be a barbarian or a fighter or something like that, and it's just not. I would love for there to be a culture of some kind of magic that is just very much based in strength. There's this fun type of meditation that I learned about where it's, and I think I talked about this last time we were on D&D stuff too, but it's where you just do a bunch of like repetitive fighting movements, and it puts you into a state of meditation to some degree. So I would love to have something akin to that is very much ingrained into the society. I think that would be fun. What's a Goliath's favorite sport? Soccer. Excel as goalies. I love me a good pun, man. I don't always get them, but they're so good. Okay, let's take a look at goblins. So what I've been doing for all of these is basically copying and pasting the goblin stuff into a doc. And then what we're gonna do, if you want to follow along, you don't have to, you don't want to, you can just be here for the ride, which is appreciated. You can grab a screenshot of this. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at Their housing, we're gonna look at their eating habits and thus their like farming and agricultural habits. We're gonna look at their social hierarchy, and then we're gonna look at their defense if they feel a need for it, and their travel and religion stuff. So we're going to be taking a look at all of this. This is basically just the outline I'm using for all of these little basically mini countries within Varshaavan, but we'll be using this as a template to some degree. All right, how's it going, guys? How you going, Press X? How's it going? Kind of reminds me of Tai Chi or something like that. I actually don't know. It's been a long time since I've actually researched any martial arts of any kind. So I don't know if Tai Chi has an element of repetitive meditation. How goes it with me? Pretty good. It's been a rough week, but I'm really glad to be back into the Dungeons and Dragons stuff this week. I think it's gonna be... I have a lot of stuff planned and not enough time to plan it all out, so I'm hoping to get it done in these little sessions, because I just... Dude, time is just the only limiter for anything. Glasgow was a good place to live when you were growing up. Got to the point where I felt like if I didn't leave, I'd lose something. Oh. That's so good. That's so good that you guys are able to support each other like that. How's your game going? My game is going really good. They had... I want to show you guys because I'm still so proud of it. Oh, hang on. Not... Decal isn't a real place. Hang on. Roll 20. Launch game. So we ended up making... I ended up making this, and I think it was Fel who was here for it, but we made this huge museum, and I made all of these dudes interactable, which was fun, and I gave all of these items like little little descriptions and stuff like you would see in a museum, and so my players are planning a heist for this museum, which is like super magical, super guarded, and I had a good time just watching them read through everything, and it was a blast. It was so much fun. But they also, their brains are humongous, and they made so many connections to a bunch of lore stuff in my world, which just like, it feeds my soul, you know? It feeds me right in the heart. Do you think goblins have bad dental hygiene? I feel like to say that a group that does not have necessarily great hygiene would not have good dental hygiene is... So dental hygiene it's just not just a cleanliness thing, it's also like it has really bad health effects if you don't take care of your teeth. So I would think that goblins would have at least decent dental hygiene unless their teeth are made out of something that is completely different from like human teeth, which I don't think they would. Maybe they would. I don't know. I'm not in charge. But yeah. So let's go ahead and hop into Goliaths Gnolls. So, what I've kind of determined, so in my mind, Goliaths are very much viewed as a... Barbaric is not the right word. An aggressive people, which is a boring way to look at it. It's boring. So we're gonna change it, and we're gonna make them a little bit more dynamic, I think. So Goliaths, so what I did was, when I first made this, was I went through and I made it so that each of the areas have like a little blurb about them, that I kind of established so that I have something to bounce off of. So what I decided to do for the Goliaths, whoops, did not mean to lock that. So the centaurs are kind of known for being like the very mediator-esque type peoples. And I want Goliaths to have actually been the ones who started that. I think that the centaurs are probably just a little bit more outspoken about it. But I want the Goliaths to be very much... I want them to want harmony, if that makes sense. You know, however that may look. While many believe that centaurs are the creators of the dispute system in the capital, the truth is that the Goliaths began the tradition of gathering each new settler community's wisest member and bringing them together to make decisions on disputes. So, I would love... Let's take a look at this. Large flat... So let's start with housing. I kind of want... I want there to be a lot of, what's the word? Not just fellowship, but like something a little closer, something a little bit more like family. I want them to... I think that having them be polyamorous to some extent, not everyone of course, but to be like a normalized part of their culture would be nice. I think that, as my DM calls them, cuddle puddles, where everyone just kind of lays on top of each other and just like sleeps, you know? That's the kind of vibe I want. So maybe they have like a main lodging house that everyone kind of lives in. I think that might be interesting. So, main lodging house where most of the Goliaths sleep. Many have their own workspaces in buildings they've created. So, like, if you wanted to have hobbies or something, you would be... you would have to make your own little shed for it. What kind of environment are they living in? This is all jungle. This entire area is jungle. And the idea behind it is that the thickness of the jungle kind of makes it so that the division of communities is slightly easier because it's not so easy to get to each other. At least that's the vibe that my brain has on it. In buildings. Main lodging house where most of the Goliaths sleep. Many have their own workspaces and buildings they created for their own hobbies and a place to be alone. Cuddle puddles are the norm. What else? What else? In terms of a very interconnected community, let's do children are regarded as the villages, not just the child of the parents. There was a community I read about a few weeks ago, I think, where basically anyone that had sex with a woman would become the child's parent. Like, they would be innately responsible. It's such an interesting point of view, considering I feel like a lot of America's communities are very much like trying to keep our independence rather than accepting responsibility for someone or something that might not even be our responsibility, you know? and just accepting that responsibility. It's just a very interesting way of looking at things in terms of independence versus community, if that makes sense. Not just the child of parents. Children are regarded as the villages. There should be an apostrophe. Not just the child of the parents. Let's see. Maybe we should put this in this initial. Nah, we'll leave it there. Okay. I think that looks good. What do you guys think? Probably omnivorous for shoresies. I would say they're probably hunters. Hunters. I would say hunting is a common skill within the village. Let's see, what else did I write here? They do hunt small animals. They are not against taking already dead creatures. I feel like... I wonder what their social practices around the dead would be. Because... I feel like... So there's this subculture in America of people who will pull over during a, like, when a funeral procession is going down the road. And it's like, I've read a little like post on it, and it was like two sides, people being like, you shouldn't stop, just keep going. Like, you stopping is not going to impact the family who's grieving's their day. It's not going to impact how they basically, it's not going to impact their grief. But on the other side of the coin, people had to say, like, when my relative died, for example, it felt like it was so unfair that the world kept turning and that people's grief was, that my grief was not being acknowledged, and it was like everybody else gets to go on with their life and I have to live with this grief. So I think that latter idea would be a very interesting dynamic, I think, compared to the rest of the world. What kind of environment are they living in? Oh, I thought that was new. Did I change something? I'm wildin'. When someone dies, whether or not you knew the person, you are expected to I kind of like the idea of them, like, getting on one knee as, like, the family goes by. I think that is, like, a very physical show of respect. You are expected to, get down... Can I spell? Get down on a knee and... Whether or not you knew the person, you're expected to get down on a knee and bow your head as those closest with the funeral procession move through the town. Just like a physical show of, like, We acknowledge your grief and we are sharing in it, kind of idea. I like that. Hunting is a common skill within the village. Food is often cooked through, though Goliaths are capable of eating raw food. Of eats. Of eating raw food. Perfect. Food is often cooked through, though Goliaths are capable of eating raw food. I like that. I feel like they're known for being very hardy. Let's look up Goliaths. Let's look up Goliaths. Goliath 5e. Okay. For Goliaths, competition only exists when it's supported by a level playing field. I like that, actually. Survival in their home territory, not reliance on magic items, money, or other elements. Con and strength increases. 7 and 8 feet tall. 30 feet. Athletics. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to roll a d12 out of your con modifier and reduce the damage by the total. Mountain born, you have resistance to cold damage. That's so interesting. I wonder if they would be struggling to some degree in the environment that they're in. Like in such a hot environment. When someone dies, whether or not you knew the person, you're expected. Okay. Capable of eating raw food. Yeah, because of their high constitution. I think that works just fine. Never a social hierarchy. Let's take a look at this. I feel like... What kind of social... I guess what kind of governmental system would work here? I feel like democracy makes sense, but the system that they put in place for all of Tavasvaria to like settle disputes between communities is more of a republic type situation. But it would not be, I think maybe a council of type, or maybe a pure democracy as like the only thing that can be absolutely fair, which fair doesn't take into account the idea of people needing certain things more than other people. So I think that the social hierarchy would definitely be more of a, let's do a pure democracy. Democratic system of government. There is no leader, though many respected members of the society would be known for campaigning for or against certain ideas. Purely democratic. Not pure. Democracy is the only pure system. It is unusual to only those outside of the community that there are just... Okay. find that they're not just goblinoids? I guess that's a good question. Would such a community where there are physiological differences from other communities, like being able to eat just straight up raw food, would that drive other people out of the community? I think probably no, because there are ways to work around that, but I don't think it would be usual. I don't think it would be unusual. It is not unusual to find peoples of other species here, but it is uncommon. So it wouldn't be like a surprise, but it would definitely not be like super common. Is there a way that I can... Whoa. Just almost two. Yeah, we'll just zoom in real fast. It'll be fine. Too far. There we go. We have defense. Everyone, maybe? Everyone is trained with a warrior's skill set, but not everyone, but also has a primary. Everyone is trained with the warrior skill set, but also has a primary skill that helps contribute. My hands are all over the place. Contribute to the community. So let's talk about like philosophy. It's like, because the idea of understanding other people's capabilities and how difficult things are for other people, and understanding art and how art impacts not only people's mental state, but also like their inspiration, inspires people to do things. I don't think that art should necessarily be discounted, but I think that this community would have more of a utilitarian approach to it, and be a little bit more like, yeah, you can draw your pictures and you can make art and you can carve stuff into the trees and you can draw things in the ground, but ultimately you need to be helping farming, you need to be helping crafting, you need to be helping building, you need to have some kind of skill set that contributes to this community that is very self-sufficient, if that makes sense. So that helps contribute to the community. A very utilitarian mindset. Defense. I don't think they would have walls. I think that they would more rely on their physical capabilities. That's typically the standpoint for small communities with low to moderate levels of technology. Yeah, exactly. Which honestly all of these would fall under, but well, let's talk about magic actually as well. If I were a Goliath that lived in this community, I feel like I would be drawn to the druidic practice, for one. I don't think I would be as drawn to the clerical or wizardry or sorcery or what have you. I think that druids would probably be decently common in this society. Ooh, oh. Yeah, that's a good point. So what I'm getting stuck on is that basically all of these communities don't have technology per se, but many of them do have magic. The more machines or magic that can take the place of manual labor, the more opportunity you have to free people up to specialize into things like art. True, true. So what if agriculture was... So when we were looking at, so the Goliaths, it said up here that they don't really like, I don't agree with this, but they don't really like magic because it's like, oh, it measures talent, dedication, and effort, not reliance on magic items or other elements. Interesting. Such an advantage can always be lost. A Goliath who relies too much on them can grow complacent, a recipe for disaster in the mountains. Complacency. So let's do the druidic magics are the most common, but even then they are rare. They are used to make defenses surrounding the town, such as traps. What are those spiky things? Like those walls that are spiked outwards? The dangers of the jungle are inherently different from the mountains in such a way that most can be avoided by staying in groups. That's fair to an extent. I think that the biggest danger in a jungle would actually probably be disease carried by bugs. Spiky defense walls called Palisade. I am just typing things. Hello. Whoops. Oh. Palisades, etc. Very utilitarian mindset. The druidic magics are the most common, but even then, they are rare. They are used to make defenses surrounding the town, such as traps, palisades, etc. I like that actually. We might actually have time to do 2 today. We're kind of rocking through the Goliaths quick. Travel. The Goliath community. Having trouble recalling specific words. My brain is king. I feel that. For the most part, they don't take fights unless they're in danger. But on top of that, they don't believe in honorable fighting. Oh, the types of fights that they take. Let's do... So... Believe in a fair fight. To them, this means that items that enhance... Well, I mean, if you say to, like, items that enhance one's power, does that include a sword? Does that include a shield? Like, what exactly is within that? They believe in a fair fight. They do not compete against those who are not of the same skill level as they are, and they look down on those who challenge people who are weaker than them. I like that. Travel. The Goliath community. Oh, the Goliath community travels often to the capital. Often to the capital. They trade agricultural goods as well as skills that can be taught while there. It is common for people to look for apprenticeship opportunities with the Goliath community. It's common for people to look for apprenticeship opportunities with the Goliath community while they are in the capital, and to be brought back for further training. I like that. The Goliaths grow a very specific and sought after crop, one that they only grow to trade to others. That's interesting. Maybe like something like I was just about to say, actually, before you wrote that I would love if they didn't really bake themselves, but every time they go to the capital, every time they bring a little group to go to the capital, they bring back baked goods. So what if they grew things like cocoa beans or sugar or some things that are considered a little bit more frivolous to some degree, which are used mostly for trade? I think that would be, and then like in return they get like cakes and cookies and shit. I think that would be fun. The Goliaths grow crops that they don't use don't use often, such as sugar, cocoa. It's cocoa beans, right? Beans. It's not with an A, is it? When it's talking about the beans. I know it's cacao. Cocoa bean. Okay, it is with an A. Okay, interesting. Such as sugar, cocoa beans, etc. That they sell in the capital. Oh. They also do not often find themselves baking, so they trade for sweets there as well. I like that. These, we're not quite sure what the small races like them. They're the beans of the coffee tree. They're bitter and make you shake. Animals rarely eat them and it is poison to most, but people will buy them for some reason. I like that. The idea of the disconnect between like something being like a cocoa bean being separate from chocolate cake or something is amusing to me. I like that. Let's talk about religion. Religion. Almost done. Oh my god, we get to do 2 today? We're speeding. We're over the speed limit. Let's take a look. Hold. Call group, Varia, the gods. Okay. So we have so many. Well, I don't want to do the evils. Let me control C. Copy everything. There was one time where I accidentally deleted, I think, like half of this document because I was giving my players it, and luckily I had control all and copied everything beforehand. Let me save those real fast. So let's do, I want to get rid of the evil ones. Goodbye. 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 Clemens 2. Let's see. Cord would be a good one. A little bit more of a hoorah type person. Oh, he's lawful evil. Get out of here. Get out of my list. I almost think that they would not worship the Raven Queen to some extent. I think that they would see fair... Oh, not get rid of them. Sorry. I'm not considering them for gods that this community would worship. Yeah. I just don't... Like, I think that, say a community that is meant to be a very... All of these communities are meant to be positive in different ways. So them worshiping an evil god is just going to be... It's gonna take away from that, I think. Let's see. Sahanine, no, because they're very stationary, so not her either. Lawful neutral. Raven Queen, I don't think... Whoops. I don't think they would worship the Raven Queen. I think that they would see death as an unfairness in life. Of course, to die for something that you believe in or to protect someone is valiant and heroic, but I think the actual process of death and what happens thereafter, I think they would probably find unfair. You don't even get to vote on it. My blanket, I'm so cold at all times. Don't even get to vote on it. It's bad. So I think they would not worship, whoops, the Raven Queen. Hello. I feel like Cord is a good one. Melora may be a good one. Mishakal might be good, but I think I already assigned her as like a main deity for another one. Mishakal is goblins, actually. Looking at this doc over here. Mordine is good, but not what I'm looking for. Palor, not what I'm looking for. Listraid, nope. Arathis is the goddess of civilization. They might like her. Corellon. I feel like I should just get Corellon out of my pantheon. I never use him for anything. I feel like everything he does, everyone else can do better, you know? Bahamut. Avandra is goddess of change and luck. So I think these are the ones that we need to choose. Oh, no, I don't think Ioun. I think Ioun's good, but not necessarily for this community. So let's take a look at these. Melora would be a little understanding because they're agricultural based. Arathis and Cord. Let's go Arathis. Arathis. Commands her devoted followers with 3 of her many laws. Work with others. Community and order are always stronger than individuals. Tame the wilderness to make it fit for habitation and defend the light of civilization. Seek out new ideas, inventions, land, and wilderness. Build machines, sentient empires. I feel like this is very much them. Arathis. Cord. Be strong, but do not use your strength for wanton destruction. Be brave and scorn cowardice. Prove your might in battle to win glory and renown. Interesting. And then Melora is the last one. Old. She's protect the wild places of the world from destruction and overuse. Oppose the rampant spread of cities and empires. Hunt aberrant monsters and their abominations of nature. Do not fear or condemn the savagery of the wild. Live in harmony with the wild. I don't think Melora. I think we're down to Cord or Arathis. Arathis commands her devoted followers with 3 of her many laws. I just feel like this one is just so crispy. It's perfect. I like this. I'm copying and pasting it. Nope. It's Arathis. The community mainly follows Arathis. Taking to heart her command to work with others to achieve your goals. Community and order are always stronger than individuals. I feel like a comma has to go there. I don't know enough about the intricacies of the English language to tell if that is grammatically correct. Can't talk. Religion. The community mainly follows Arathis, taking to heart her command to work with others to achieve your goals. Community and order are always stronger than individuals. This is also the basis for the dispute system in the capital that they created. Perfect. Reset. There we go. Okay, I kind of like this. Alright, Goliaths found a home here. Some say they were the first to attempt to settle in the jungles. While many believe that the centaurs are the creators of the dispute system in the capital, the truth is that the Goliaths began the tradition of gathering each new settler's community's wisest member and bringing them together to make decisions on disputes. Main lodging house, there is a main lodging house. Hold. There's a main lodging house where most of the Goliaths sleep. Many have their own workspaces and buildings they've created for their own hobbies and a place to be alone. Cuddle puddles are the norm. Children are regarded as the villages, not just the child of the parents. When someone dies, whether or not you knew the person, you are expected to get down on one knee and bow your head as those closest with the funeral procession move through the town. They're omnivorous, hunting is a common skill. Food is often cooked through, though Goliaths are capable of eating raw food. Purely democratic system of government. There's no leader, though many respected members of the society would be known for campaigning for or against certain ideas. It's not unusual to find people of other species here, but it is uncommon. Everyone is trained with a warrior's skill set, but also has a primary skill that helps contribute to the community. A very utilitarian mindset. The druidic magics are the most common, but even then they are rare. They're used to make defenses surrounding the town. Goliaths believe, I want to add, as well as contribute to agriculture. Goliaths believe in a fair fight. They do not compete against those who are not of the same skill level as they are, and they look down on those who challenge people who are weaker than them. The Goliath community travels often to the capital. They trade agricultural goods as well as skills that can be taught while there. It is common for people to look for apprenticeship opportunities with the Goliath community while they are in the capital, and to be brought back for further training. The Goliaths grow crops, and they that they don't use often, such as sugar, cocoa beans, etc., that they sell in the capital. They also do not find themselves often baking, so they trade for sweets there as well. The community mainly follows Arathis, taking to heart her command to work with others to achieve your goals. Community and order are always stronger than individuals. This is also the basis for the dispute system in the capital they created. I like it. I like it. Okay. Call that a W right there. Okay, so we've got Cerus is done. Kanilmo is done. Herta. Fataka is not done. So our options are, let me write this down. Let me write this down. Our options are Gnolls. I believe this is demon, yeah, fiends. So fiends. Hello, Sweet Poison 02. Hello, how are you? I'm doing okay. How you doing? How you doing? We have Genasi. Of course, of course. You like Gnolls? Okay. Let's just do Gnolls then. I don't see why not. Where are they? Pataka. Perfect. You see DM world building and you always have to buy. Yeah, that's fair. It's fun to see, like, I follow several other DMs. It's really fun to see how they interact with everything. It's just really cool. It's really cool to see how they view their world in, like, as a difference to me, how I view my world personally. Just interesting. I've run a homebrew campaign with my co-DM for 6 years, so I love this stuff. Oh, okay, so tell me how co-DMing works. Like, I feel like I probably just have too many control issues to co-DM, but like, how do you guys agree on what happens? And do you guys, like, I've heard two ways, like DMing at the same time with each other, or like switching off DMing like every other session. Ours is a bit different from most co-DMing, so it's a bit messy if you want me to go into detail. I mean, if you're okay with that, if you have the time and the energy to do so, I would love to hear about it, honestly. Okay, Gnolls, carnivorous. I don't think I need this here. I do like the idea of it being firecracker. Okay, we know they're carnivorous. So let's look at Gnolls. Gnolls are interesting. So Gnolls are based off of hyenas, which are a matriarchal society. So I would love to implement that at least slightly into this community. Let's take a look at this. Hold. One second. So let's look up how does the matriarchy in I was gonna type Gnolls in hyenas work. Every hyena clan has a matriarchy ruled by an alpha female, and the clan's strict power structure dominance passes down the alpha female's line to her cubs. Interrent adult males rank last, reduced to submissive outcasts, begging for acceptance, food, and sex. It's a communal carcass. These adult males eat last. That's so interesting. Is the intense competition over carcasses. Okay. Because, I mean, let's think about, like, in terms of a community. Hyena domination display slightly in SFW. Yeah. I won't look too far, but I'm curious how the matriarch, what I was really curious and what was answered in this paragraph is how that matriarchy is determined. It looks like it's determined through the bloodline, which is such an interesting idea, honestly. So our game we play several times a week and we alternate who DMs. We each have assigned sections of a world and our players have small cogs in the greater story. When he DMs, I play. When I DM, he plays. This way, neither of us gets DM burnout. However, I'm better at political intrigue and he's better at combat, so when needed, we'll tag in and out of if floundering. In that case, do you guys share the same character, or do you share two different characters and just like either play or autopilot them when you're DMing? That's so interesting. High-end social groups in the real world is how a lot of society are portrayed in 3.5 era fiction. That's so interesting. I actually haven't read a lot about the drow, if I'm being honest. I read a lot about Lolth and like her impact on, in terms of like, the slave trade in the Underdark and all that, which is, I think Lolth is interesting as a character. I have 6 PCs to play based on where in the world we are. The point of view shifts day to day. All our players have several PCs, sort of like if you know Game of Thrones. Oh! That is so interesting. I've never heard of a DMing style like that. At least not that I can remember, but I do have a bad memory. 6 PCs to play based on that. So everybody has multiple PCs. That actually must be so fun because then you get, because I know people all the time. I see memes all the time. Yeah, exactly. People all the time being like, I have too many ideas for characters and I want to use them all and I have not enough games to play in and I don't have enough time and it's just a tragedy. Oh my gosh, that actually sounds so fun. I don't think I could pull it off. I would have a hard time keeping everything straight, but that is so impressive that you're able to do that, actually. Amazing, amazing. So, Gnolls, the Gnolls in this society are known for... One player heard a story of one of his other PCs that the bard got wrong and he was so angry he wanted to correct it, but I was like, you wouldn't know this isn't accurate. That's so funny, actually. Was the character angry or the dude? That's the real question. That's so funny, man. The Gnolls in the society are known for... Oh, I got a message on Discord. Oh no, milady. Hold on. Somebody's asking me to play Valorant, and I kind of want to go, but no, we're gonna finish this. The dude, he laughed it off, wasn't actually, it was more like, wait, hang on a second, that's not right. That's so fun. So what I do, in my campaigns is I put like the amount of impact that people have in my games travels through into my next campaign. So like the Buff Decks was my first campaign in this world. And the stuff that they did up until this point of time in this campaign, is like has impacted the world, and like they changed the emperor of one of the countries, and that had an effect on the modern campaign. And I also love like bringing back NPCs and PCs from previous groups as well. PCs of course with the permission of the person who played them. And I love having like little you know, Easter eggs in there. It makes it fun. Little cheat, we play text-based as one of my players has hearing issues and we want it to be inclusive so I can go back and reread to refresh my memory as well. Oh. I love, so my group has allowed me, thank goodness, to to record our sessions. So what I do is I'll record them on Zoom, and then I will go back and spend a few hours like adding music and editing out like big long silences and stuff like that. And it's really nice for me because I get to take extensive notes because I watch them back. It's just, it makes it so nice for me. I want to give Gnolls something special. What something special should they have? Why are they matriarchal? Male dispersal. Males leave the clan into which they were born. Oh. That's so interesting. Ooh. I don't know if I want to include that, but that's interesting. We have a Discord server. We use Roll20 for the roll sheets, but everything else is Discord. That's so fun. So do you guys play at like certain times, or is it like developmental? Like you guys play throughout the day and just like type in the chat? You don't take notes during the game? No, I don't. For me, it's not so difficult when I'm like in the middle of something to forget like important pieces. But there does come a point at the end of the session where I'm like overloaded with information. I'm like, I just can't remember all of this. And so going back and being able to read or listen back to it and take those notes is so nice, especially for characters that I've made up on the spot, you know? You don't, as you're fully focused on the game. Yeah, exactly. It just, it gets to be too much brain power to mix between them. We have set times that we play, but also one channel for mild RP. Like, say you want to do something downtime related when a DM isn't around, the players can do character stuff to build up. That's so cool. We trust them not to go wild. Yeah, that's the thing. So, I don't like, I've had multiple people that I've met like online and through like video games who are like, hey, you want to run a game for us? And I'm like, this is gonna sound so rude, but I just don't play with people that I don't know I can like trust them specifically in D&D. And I love playing with new players, but it's really hard to not, like, for a player who to, like, this is their first time being able to play a video game that they can basically do whatever they want, is basically what D&D is being able to video game but do anything that you want. And so they kind of go, they trip on the power hungriness, like they trip on the power that they have as a character, and I just don't, I don't really want to run a game like that, you know? It's just a little too meh. It's a little too meh. Okay, hold. Covey, Dev, and I go check out the narrative downtime stuff they do in case there's stuff we can reference, but it's more for them to build up their PCs and have fun. That's actually super cute. I love the idea of them being able to like roleplay with each other outside of the game. That's so cool. Take some of the pressure off of us. See, you get it. You get it. I appreciate it. Okay, Gnolls in the society. What special thing can we give Gnolls? Gnolls. Let's look up Gnolls 5e. Rampage. Feral human-headed humanoids attack without warning. It's terrible. Chill, bro. Chill. I want to look at Forgotten Realms wiki. Yes. Within Faerun, they are carnivorous humanoids known for their savage culture and warlike ways. Yeah, like for instance, one of my friends had a tough day at work and he immediately came to the server and he and our druid went out for drinks in the downtime. That's so cute! What the fuck? I love that! Oh my god. A lot of my games these days are with brand new players, so I spend a lot of time with people having those infinite possibilities, infinite power moments. Yeah, it's, like, my players that I have in this game right now, it's so nice because they're all such respectful human beings, and it feels like I can collaborate with them on stuff that they want to do without feeling like they're gonna screw me over to some extent. I know that's a really strong phrase to use, but that's what it feels like. It's like, I feel like some players want to push the limits so much that they forget that you as the DM are also a player. I'm too comfy with my little nest of dorks. I don't branch out much. Me too. I feel that. You kind of need to walk some of them through the idea that you need to establish a rapport with the table, getting them out of the main character mindset. Yeah, that's what a lot of people have, is the main character mindset. And it's really hard to be in a game where everybody is supposed to collaborate and work together when they feel like they're the main character. I played a couple one-shots friends ran, but that's it. Yeah. They want to win, basically. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I love my Buff Ducks group because a lot of them were very new, and a couple of them did go on like a little bit of a power trip, you know, but we used to always make jokes of winning at D&D, and it's like just the most ironic statement. It's such a stupid statement, honestly, because you don't win at D&D, you just have fun. Having fun is winning, you know. Getting into the story, getting into the lore, getting into the friendship is the win. So, those are my thoughts. Want to hear how I won at D&D? That the party agreed I hacked how to win? Yes! Tell me. Aren't hyenas small? How tall are hyenas? Yeah, they're small. Why did they make them huge? You can break new players of those habits, but it's easier the quicker you get to it. You need to establish everyone's expectations out loud and very specifically before you start playing. Yeah, I have like a session 0 document. Maybe I'll do like a little let's go over session 0 thing one time, and then everyone can share like their session 0 stuff. That would be fun. I think I might do that maybe this week or next week. Maybe we won't play games on Friday and we'll do that instead. But I have a little note in there to like tell my players, because I always forget and I always just kind of expect people to understand that, and not all the time they do. Of like, hey, like, you guys just need to be respectful of each other. You need to understand that this is a like community game, that everyone's working together, and you know, just keep that in mind. And I think it helps stop a lot of those problems before they happen. Tying it up, but table rule in my games, if you see someone typing, you don't type. That's a really good rule. I'll type the pool rules I have hanged by the table. Ooh. I think you sent those one time. It was a long time ago though. Yeah, I'm very lucky because the group that I have right now are all very, very respectful people, not only of themselves, but also of like me as the dungeon master. And we've had conversations about this, about how like I'm a player too, which is really nice. Like they've kind of brought it up, and we've had those little establishing conversations of like, I understand you guys want to have fun, but like in order for us to do fun stuff, you have to be respectful and not too much, you know? I don't know how else to say it. I probably said it better then, but greenish gray. It's believed by some gnolls had trace of demonic blood. Huh. Or at least me. In spite of a reputation for being shorter, in fact, so many similar or male and female gnolls in appearance, they were often mistaken for each other. The only gnolls had very short lifespans. 30 years? That's so low. At which point they decline quickly into their death. Interesting. So my bard flirts a lot. It's like it's banter for her. She always flirts with the big bad evil guy to distract him. He's an ancient red dragon in form of an elf. Anyway, one of the minions hurt her in battle and she went down and had to be saved via magic by the group. Next session, she had a box delivered to her from the big bad evil guy with the eyes of his minions as an offering to her as she got hurt. I'm like, I'm in danger. Congrats, you won it, D&D. That's so funny. Dude, that is top tier. There's no way. The big bad evil guy said, for you, sweetheart. Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm clicking things and I don't want to. Ah! Old. I'm fucking things up. Just ignore me while I edit this. Okay, there we go. It was just banter, dude! Instant regret. In the D&D canon, gnolls rule with Unog, the demon lord of savagery and destruction, and believe that they were created by him in his image. You probably won't want to go in that direction. Yeah, I do want this to, like, what I'm seeing about gnolls is just a whole lot of negative. Which, is fine in certain communities, but I kind of want to use this as an opportunity to take away the stigma of certain species. Like, you know, like, make them, because these are people. They're races, they're people. They have the ability to be good, you know? Or to be at least neutral. My party is like fucking being evil queen. Oh my god. That's amazing. That's amazing. Top tier friend group, honestly. Top tier. Shorter, broader, stronger. Trying to talk to a gnoll is the quickest path to its stomach. Dude, chill. More so than many other humanoid. Almost all gnolls preferred the wildness to civilized enclaves. Are known for, I don't want to say distrustful. I want them to be unhappy with the idea of having to go to a community, in terms of, like, having to go to the capital to settle disputes instead of just, like, fuck you, you know? We don't use a line map at my table. Your actions decide how you're viewed. Yeah, that's kind of how I do it too. I feel like the only real exception are like fiends. Fiends are just brought up in such a toxic environment that how could they not turn out to be evil human beings, you know? However, I do have a thought for how to work with society having a general negative attitude toward gnolls. Okay, share. My world has a female human fighter who descended from Goliaths and now leads a gnoll pack as she beat the leader in hand-to-hand combat. That's so cool. Speaking of Goliaths and gnolls, I forgot to change my title. And gnolls. Done. There we go. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love these little D&D sessions. It makes me so happy. The gnolls in this society are known for disliking the dispute system. Capital. My world. Ooh. I think it's so fun that that your DM allowed you to become the leader of this group. I think it's really fun. I don't know if I could, because I feel like a leader would be like somebody who would have to be around and then they would have to stop adventuring and be sad. But it's really cool. Oh, that's so fun. The Gnolls in the society are known for disliking the dispute system of the capital. I made a second in command from the pack. I do flyby visits. Oh, that's a good way. That's a good way of doing that. Sort of inspired by the male hyenas leave their group, I imagine Gnolls as having developed a sort of unique rite of passage over the years. They are sent out into the world at large and told to make friends to try and correct the stigma peoples have against Gnolls. I like that a lot, actually. That's really fun. I like that. Okay. Or send out. I like that as like their little key thing. I'm trying so hard to find one. Their pilgrimage is completed when they find someone who is willing to come back home with them and meet their people. Huh. The only issue I have with that is that if we're eating, like, you know, carcasses, other people are not gonna be chill with that, you know? I do like that, though. Oh, okay. Not necessarily, because it is an unjust system. They just prefer to keep. The Gnolls are all introverts. Let's keep to themselves. It might be a hard sell. The right can take several years. Yeah, probably. I think that's I think that we gotta write out the hierarchy as well. Oh, I knew it. It did fuck up the text. Hang on. There we go. All right, now the spacing was off. They're known for disliking the dispute system of the capital, not necessarily because it's an unjust system, but they just prefer to keep to themselves and keep issues between communities. Between those communities. I've forgotten him. Communities. Is this music too loud? It's not. I'm just tripping. Yeah, I do like that idea of them having to find someone that will accept them, you know? So maybe we do, like when we go into the religious area, it's we look for something that's a little bit more about acceptance to some degree. Let's do... Excuse me as I'm like this. Yeah, I have my knees up. I'm crouching like a gremlin. Shrimp posture. Housing. Can hyenas climb trees? They are not capable of climbing trees. What big cat can't climb trees? The jaguar. Oh. That was a fun little fact that we just got as a bonus there. They are known for disliking the dispute system of the capital, not necessarily because it's an unjust system, but they just prefer to keep to themselves and keep issues between communities. Those communities. Let's talk about housing. So they wouldn't be up in trees. They would probably be on the ground. Do they burrow? Do hyenas burrow? Caves, rock fissures, erosion channels, and burrows formerly occupied by porcupines. Can be identified with the presence of bones at their entrance. Maybe we do something like that. Something with that, like, the territory surrounding, the Gnoll, community is just littered with bones, just in that entire area. I think that might be fun. Where am I? Let me just close that. Okay. The community is built into a shallow cave system that was found when the Gnolls first settled in this area. Built into a shallow cave system that was found when the Gnolls first settled in this area. I think maybe we put the bone thing under defenses. Whoops. Okay. Defense. To scare off those who may... let's do it as a warning. As a warning, there are the bones of enemies as well. The boths. Bones of enemies as well as, dead animals. Oh, let's do it of as well as meals past. That litter the surrounding area of the of a town. Okay, as a warning, there are the bones of enemies as well as meals that pass that litter the surrounding area of the town. To scare off those who to make those with ill will think twice. Okay. Yes. Okay. Putting my legs down so I can actually sit up and type. Posture check. Okay. The community is built into a shallow cave system that was founded when the Gnolls first settled in this area. The Gnolls do not often cook their food. This should be under... Oh, they're carnivores, so let's do carnivorous. Carnivores. The Gnolls do not cook their food except on special occasions. The community is built into a shallow cave system that was found when the Gnolls first settled in this area. They often sleep in our... Let's do... There is a communal cavern where Meals are prepped. Sleep arrangements are had, and communal activities take place. I like that. I like it a lot. There are specific areas dedicated to different skill sets and hobbies that lie in the cave system. Oh, chips as a queso sounds so good right now. Off topic. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Oh, Poison, thank you for the follow. I didn't even notice. I appreciate it, appreciate it. The Gnolls do not cook their food except on special occasions. Perfect. Hobbies. Okay, we've got the housing, so carnivores, except on special occasions. They often... Okay, let's see what communities surround them. So we've got the Goliaths, the Giantkin. The Gnolls are a little far. Goblins are a little close. God's a little close. Devils are a little close. But they do have this whole area. But there's not a lot of potential for... I wonder if we don't change the location of these two cities. What if we switch these two cities up? Because I think it would make more sense for the Gnolls, for the Goliaths to be closer to the capital for one, and for the Gnolls to be closer to the Giants so that they can, basically eat the carcasses of the stuff that they, that the Giants drop. I think that would be smarter. So let me go ahead and... Okay. Salidos. Goliaths. Saved. Salidos. Save. Fataga. Perfect. Fataga. Brilliant. Because now I think this makes a lot more sense in terms of closeness. Yeah. You can really go for pizza. Yeah, that's a good idea. Or kebab. I don't think I've had kebab in a while. Okay, so we'll keep working on this. They often take the leftovers of the Giantkin in exchange for the cleaned bones that the Giants take to sell for weapons and... Sorry. They sell as weapon and tool, what is the word called? Material? Material is probably the best word that I can come with. Material. There's a place near you that does really good chicken kebab that's marinated in pomegranate and walnuts. Oh my god. That's nice. This is just making me hungry, frankly. There are specific areas dedicated to different skill sets and hobbies that lie in the cave system. Okay, the gnolls do not cook their food except on special occasions. They often take the leftovers of the giantkin in exchange for the clean bones the giants sell as weapon and tool material. I like that a lot. It's a little symbiotic. A little symbiotic. Just a tad. I like that. As a warning, there are bones of the enemies. Okay, wait, hang on. Let me make sure we got all the others. So we have social hierarchy and then defense. The society is governed by one female gnoll whose bloodline rules thereafter until I don't want to say challenger, until they can produce no female heirs or choose to produce no heirs. Choose to produce no heirs. Which point the community hosts a competition of strength and fighting skill. Whoever wins becomes the new leader. You think your brain is breaking? You need to go? Alright, thanks. Have a good one. Whoever wins becomes the new leader. I do want there to be a way that the community can veto people by, like, sabotaging them, perhaps. Yeah. The gnolls who do not want one to become a leader will often sneakily sabotage each other in the days leading up to the event. I like that. I think it's cool. Right. As a warning, there are boneses of enemies as well as meals passed that litter the surrounding area of the town to make those with ill will think twice. I think so let's establish that this community is very focused on the strength and capability of the individual. This community is very focused on the strength and capability of the individual, and as such, train each gnoll from when let's do from the time that they were a child. Perfect. There we go. Defense, social hierarchy. Okay. Travel and religion. The gnolls in this community rarely travel. They do not prefer the other. I would say they prefer to stay in their own lands and act according to their own laws. They are self-sufficient, aside from getting the carcasses of the giants. Kill for them. I like it. Okay, and then let's do religion. Okay, let's see. Alright, Asmodeus, goddess of change and luck. Take your fate into your own hands. Strike back at those who would rob you of freedom. They might be attracted to Evandra just in a very specific way. Strike back against those who would rob you of your freedom. Change is inevitable. Maybe not Evandra, so Asmodeus, goodbye. Evandra enjoys the winds of change and exhorts her faithful to follow where they blow. For Evandra, change represents ever-renewing opportunities. Each moment is a chance to alter the course, either personally or on a grander scale. And take things a better direction. She has settled many divine compromises in the past. I don't think Bahamut or Bane. Not Corellon. I feel like the Corellon's a dump. You know how you have dump stats? He's a dump god, you know? Alistrai. Erathis. Nah. Yeah. Grooch. Ayun. Motion into balance with one another. Accumulate, preserve, and distribute knowledge. Yeah, never mind. Loth. Melora. Mishakal. Moradine. God of creation. Palor, the god of sun and agriculture. Alleviate suffering where you find it. Bring Pelazar into places of darkness. Be watchful against evil. Maybe they like the Raven Queen, actually. They're very respectful of her. Waller goes and seek your own destiny. Keep to the shadows, avoiding the light of zealous good and the utter darkness of evil. Seek new horizons and new experiences. The Risun, god of madness. Tiamat. Torog. Vecna. Zahir. I think Raven Queen is it, man. I think the Raven Queen is it. For a community that I think that it would probably surprise other communities that this community my brain is not working. That this community respects and reveres the dead to some extent. I think that's interesting. This community respects and reveres the dead in their own way. They give blessings to every corpse. People or person or otherwise. Person or otherwise. They give blessings to every corpse, person or otherwise. To go safely into the Raven, the community. Thank you. Community. To go safely into the Raven Queen's hands. Interesting. Okay, let's do a quick overview. A little recap. The Gnolls in the society are sent out into the world at large and told to make friends, to try and correct the stigmas people have against Gnolls. Their pilgrimage is complete when they find someone who's willing to come back home with them and meet their people. They are known for disliking the dispute system of the capital, not necessarily because it is an unjust system, but they just prefer to keep to themselves and keep issues between communities, between those communities. The community is built into a shallow cave system that was found when the Gnolls first settled in this area. There is a communal cavern where meals are prepped, sleep arrangements are had, and communal activities take place. There are specific areas dedicated to different skill sets and hobbies that lie in the cave system. Carnivores. The Gnolls do not cook their own food except on special occasions. They often take the leftovers of the giantkin in exchange for the cleaned bones that the giants sell as a weapon and tool material. Social hierarchy. The society is governed by one female Gnoll whose bloodline rules thereafter until they can produce no female heirs or choose to produce no heirs, at which point the community hosts a competition of strength and fighting skill. Whoever wins becomes the new leader. The Gnolls who do not want one to become a leader will often sneakily sabotage each other in the days leading up to the event. Defense. As a warning, there are bones of enemies as well as meals passed that litter the surrounding area of the town to make those with ill will think twice. This community is very focused on strength and capability of the individual, and as such train each Gnoll from the time they were a child. Travel. The Gnolls in this community rarely travel. They prefer to stay in their own lands and act according to their own laws. They are self-sufficient aside from getting the carcasses of those the giants kill for them. Religion. The community respects and reveres their dead in their own way. They give blessings to every corpse, person or otherwise, to go safely into the Raven Queen's hands. I like it. I like it a lot. I think that changing these two was the W on this community. Oh my god, are we have actually a lot. We have Genasi, we have devils and demons, we have Seguin, Yuan-Ti, orcs, Aarakocra, minotaurs, lizard folk. What in the world? The lizard folk. We have the lycanthrope. I'm so excited to develop this because this is gonna have a big impact in the actual campaign, because this is going to be a community, because Cass is our werewolf boy. This is going to be a community where Cass can go to find people like him. We did kobolds, and we have tieflings to do, which is gonna be fun. And then once we're done with Varshaavan, which is a whole bunch of little countries in one country, we're gonna move on to things like building out Galdrek a little bit, doing a little bit more development in Cicine, a little bit more development in Tavasvaria, and we'll start making our rounds around this half of the world, because so Freya and Broria are kind of already established. We might do a little bit of development in there, and then I think we'll do Silranico and Redal and Mirlin in one day probably, because they're not super exciting. So yeah, I think that's where we'll end today. Let me go ahead and see who's online. Let me see who's online. 1 second. Who's online? Mouse. Are there just a lot of people online, or there's not a lot? Okay, there are not a lot. I was like, what am I reading? Let me see what they're doing. 1 second. They just went offline. That's just my luck. Okay. Let's do Strawberry, because she's a little fun. They're playing Project Playtime right now, which is a scary game. Unfortunately, I don't see any D&D streamers online right now that I follow. If you have any suggestions, feel free to toss them in the chat. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and raid Strawberry Bun, and I think that's where we will go ahead and cut it today. I think that we will, I think next time, tomorrow, we're gonna do not world building, we're gonna do campaign planning. And then Friday we'll do either world building or we'll play a game. We'll see. But I hope you have a wonderful day and I'll see you later. Bye.